So, a very happy solstice to everyone and a big soham. I'm very honored to be part of this. And with all this social distancing, it's interesting that some forms of proximity become more possible. So with the help of technology, but which is a way of us sort of extending our energy around the globe, which is very exciting. I thought it might be nice to talk a little bit about some resonances between the art of Boabom and neuroscience. So I moved to Boston for grad school in neuroscience some years ago, and I started doing Boabom pretty soon after that. And over the years, I've observed some intuitive connections between the art and what I've learned about the brain. Once in a while, my research gives me a fresh perspective on how to apply the mind while learning the art. For example, some of my work on attention raised the possibility that having a mental image of an action just before you do it can strengthen the corresponding neural firing patterns. So there were times when a particular Boabom movement was not as smooth or as fast as I was hoping. And then I thought, what if I try to use my imagination a little more than I usually do? Of course, overthinking can be distracting, but there is a subtle way of anticipating the position you want to be in. The imagination, in that sense, sort of provides a lubrication. So the movement seems a little smoother and easier. So Boabom can also give you a first-person understanding of brain theories that might otherwise seem a little abstract. One of the teachers said something which many of you may have heard in some form in the school. The body follows the head and the head follows the eyes. So watch where you are looking. This, of course, helps a lot with the balance, as many of you know. And it also aligns very nicely with the importance of attention in movement and even in perception. It's sometimes easy to just go into a robotic state, moving in a distracted way, looking all over the place. We might think that moving is just about the body. And so the eyes have no role. But neuroscience shows us these complex interconnections between mind and body. And these connections are not hierarchical. The mind isn't like some boss giving orders to the body. Or maybe when the mind thinks it's a boss, a humbling experience is around the corner. The mind and body need to do almost a kind of logak, dynamic balance, which for me resonates with part of the basa, the code of the school, mind, body, and art. I like to interpret this to mean that the art is a medium by which the mind and body explore their connection and their potential for synergy. Mistakes in Boabom are also learning experiences. There was a time fairly recently, actually, when I kept making a mistake in Yanbao. And I knew I was doing something wrong. I was not able to follow what Yamado was doing, but I couldn't figure out how to fix it exactly. Then this went on for a couple of classes. And then one day it just sort of popped into place. And I realized that it wasn't just the movement that was wrong, but I was seeing what the teacher was doing incorrectly. The information I thought I was getting from my eyes was wrong. So eventually when I got the movement, in some sense, even my perception improved. So this is something you learn about in neuroscience, that your actions and your goals can influence how your perceptual system works. So in Boabom, I got a pretty intense demonstration of this, so it's not just theory. This also shows how lifelong learning through the Boabom arts can expand not just how you move, but your picture of the world and yourself. So there are lots of these little resonances that I've learned between Boabom and neuroscience. So get in touch if you want to discuss these kinds of things more. But now I think we can move on. So thank you very much, and soham.